Hello, Cruising World. Mick the Suit Guy with you. It's Monday. Monday is tips day. And look, I've been sent a lot of tips. I've got tips from Kevin. I got tips from Lisa. And I got tips from Dennis that over the next few weeks I will be sharing with you. And there's more than enough for like 4 or 5, maybe 6 weeks worth here. So let's get into it. We're going to do Kevin first. Otherwise he'll cry like a baby because that's, it's Kevin. I know Kevin. He sent me 9 tips, and then I've got some tips on Holland America and some tips on princess cruises. All right, let's get into Kevin's first. Oh, I don't need my phone. What's that doing there? All right, here we go from Kevin. As always, I have not read these. We're going to read them live and react as we do. I'm probably going to be a little bit harsher on Kevin, but we'll see how it goes. He can take it. All right, number 1, first and foremost, let's go. You are on vacation, hopefully disconnected from the digital world as we do. Enjoy your time on the boat. Oh, I see. So he sent this while I was on a cruise, and he's wishing me a happy cruise. Immerse yourself in experiences. Get out of your shell, comfort zone. Try karaoke. Okay, I did. You know you want to, and believe me, your voice is as amazing at 90% of the ship as... What? Gotta clean my glasses. Can't read what he's... Because he said my voice was amazing. Hold on. I must have read that wrong. Your voice is as amazing as 90% of the ship. Alright, I get it. Try out for Family Feud or a random competition. Get involved. Get involved in Facebook group activities like dodgeball or bar crawls and meet lifelong friends. Don't worry about making a fool of yourself. 99% of the people you will never see again. Oh! He wasn't talking about me. He was talking about you. So let's read that again. I got a little bit, that was a little bit ego, wasn't it? A little bit ego. So this is not aimed at me. I thought it was. We'll read that again. Number 1, first and foremost, let's go. This is a tip for everybody. You are on vacation, hopefully disconnected from the digital world as we do. Enjoy your time on the boat. Immerse yourself in experiences. Get out of your shell, comfort zone. Try karaoke. That's where I got confused. You know you want to, and believe me, your voice is as amazing as 90% of the ship. That's definitely a dig at me. Try out for Family Feud or a random competition. Little side story to that, we did try out for Family Feud, and we got to round 2 and we didn't get to the final because Kevin, who's sending these tips, when asked, it was like, out of 100 what the questions are, it was something about aliens looking down on Earth. What did they see the most of that shocked them? And instead of saying things like people, whatever, Kevin decided to say drunks, which scored whack whack. And we didn't get through to the next round. Moving on. Get involved in Facebook group activities like dodgeball or bar crawls and meet lifelong friends. Don't worry about making a fool of yourself. 99% of the people you will never see again. And I preach this. I do preach this. Maybe I do preach giving better answers in Family Feud, but I do preach this. So have fun. Let yourself go. Do things you would never do before. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. And people would cheer you on. If you don't do it as well as you think you're doing it, trust me, there'll be people that would do it worse, and they will encourage you and they will give you all the comfort you know. If I go up and I do karaoke, and I know how bad I am at karaoke, I will often say at the beginning, oh, I'm really bad, I need your help, and knowing really that nothing they can do to help me, but they will help me. They will help me. So some things I do, you can't help me. So I don't have to go too extreme. But yes, go out of your comfort zone. Enjoy that cruise. Don't sit back and worry that you never tried it. You don't know until you do, right? You may hate it. You may never want to do it again. I know Julie never wants to do the love and marriage game with me again. And that's another story for another day. All right, so apologies for the misreading that first tip. It would often help if I read them in advance. But you know what? I don't. I think it's more fun that way. Sometimes I mess it up. All right, number 2. Don't think you have to do excursions, even though Carnival and other cruise lines push it on you. Get out and explore, walk away from the ports and tourist areas, talk to locals about a great place to eat or visit, soak in the experiences. This all sounds way too well written for Kevin. I'm just going to say that. I don't know if he wrote this or not. I think this may be AI helping him. That's for sure. Or possibly his wife. I don't know. Maybe JK. I don't know. We shall see. But yes, that is true. A lot of that depends on the cruise port, because in some cruise ports you get out and explore nothing. So know that there's something there. For example, in Cabo, and we did this recently, you can get out and explore on your own because there's plenty to do right there and then in the port. But if you go to a different port, like, I don't know, Progresso, bad example, I know, but there really isn't a free port. There's not much to do in the immediate vicinity of the port. So sometimes you do have to go a little bit out. We take it a little bit differently in that and if you've watched these videos before, what I'm going to say. We rarely, if ever, do Carnival ship tours. And we recently did one on the cruise we were on Kevin with, and it was a complete and utter disaster from my standpoint. And it just proved why I never do ship tours. We had no choice but to do that ship tour, and I'm not going to rehash it, but it was not good. So 200 people on a tour was just crazy. Overpriced, overcrowded, and underperforming to me. And they scare you. All they do is scare you with the ship will leave. But these tour companies know that. We are going on a cruise next January from Bali to Mumbai, right? And you would think that those ports, so we're going to Malaysia, we're going to Thailand, we're going to Sri Lanka, we're going to India, all these ports. You would think that would probably scare me into doing ship tours. No, absolutely not. I'm doing local tours. They all speak English. They all know they got to get back to the ship. They all give you back to ship guarantees. They know what's going on. If they take you on a tour and you don't get back to the ship, they're going to be out of business pretty quick. I don't know this as a fact, but I will almost guarantee you that 90+% of the people that don't make it back to the ship because they didn't do a ship tour, did their own thing, went to a bar, got drunk, lost track of time, etc., etc. It wasn't because of the tour company got delayed. When we do these local tours, we make sure we get back at least 2 hours before to give us a buffer. So, and we go on way better tours for about the same price, maybe a little bit more, but private tours. And I've talked about this many times. We were in, I think it was either Thailand or Vietnam. I forget which one it was. But we had our tour guide, Peaches was her name. So it was Thailand. And we went into, I forget what city it was. It doesn't matter. And we were walking through with Peaches, who was giving us one-on-one discussion on what was going on. And it was on a celebrity cruise, and the celebrity tour came through, and it was 60 people or whatever a busload is out there, and it was all in one long line. The tour guide was at the front, and everybody else has got their little stickers on. They're just following. They have no idea what's going on. They're just walking down the street while we're being explained everything by our wonderful tour guide. So think about it. We use tours by locals, and it's a private tour. Yes, and it's not good if there's just 2 of you. It's going to be quite expensive. But if there's 4, maybe 6 of you, it's actually cheaper than a ship tour, and it's a private tour. I could go on and on and on and on and on and on. But touring the local port, very good idea to do that. There's usually a lot to see. And every time you get off the ship, you see these locals offering you tours, right? They're legit most of the time. So you can talk to them and get a feel for them and what have you. And a lot cheaper. A lot cheaper and private. People get too scared by the cruise line saying that the ship will leave if you don't get back on time. In my humble opinion, if that scares you too much, then go do the ship tours. Go do an overcrowded, overcharged, undervalued tour. Look at the prices. They'll take you to a beach and drop you off for 3 hours and charge you $80. Moving on. Number 3. We've got 9. And I waffled on so much on number 1, which was totally my fault because my ego took over, that we're just going to do 3, and then I'll do 3, and then I'll do 3. Partly because of that, and partly because I need content, so I'm going to stretch it out. Plus, by now, nobody's watching anyway, because I've done a terrible job with this one so far. Number 3, random note, but Carnival now offers distilled water as a room order. Yes, they are robbing you with the price, but great for CPAP machines. I cannot talk to that because I don't use a CPAP machine. I'm not going to lie. I don't even know what a CPAP machine is. That's a very ignorant statement, I am aware. But is it because people snore too much? Is that what a CPAP? I don't even know. I'm going to look it up. We're going to go live because I am completely and utterly ignorant. Who texted me? Okay. CPAP machine. Why do people use CPAP machine? Why use? This is great TV. Continuous positive airway pressure machines are used to treat sleep apnea, a condition where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep. CPAP machines deliver a continuous stream of pressurized air through a mask worn over the nose or mouth, keeping the airway open and preventing breathing pauses. See, that's how ignorant I am. I thought it was because people snore too much. Oh, control snoring. CPAP machines effectively eliminate snoring by keeping the airway open throughout the night. I made it to get one of those for Julie. She snores a lot. It is important to note that CPAP machines are prescribed by a healthcare professional after a proper diagnosis of sleep apnea. Without a CPAP machine, a medical need can be harmful. Oh well, maybe not. She won't do that. Anyways, all right. That was maybe the absolute worst tips one I've ever given, and a perfect example of why sometimes I should read in advance. So Kevin, I apologize for destroying week 1 of your tips. I promise I would do better next week with the next 3 tips, which I'm going to turn the camera off, turn it back on again, and record again immediately because I'm lazy that way. But I pretend I'm doing this different weeks. So same suit, everything's the same. So let's do 4, 5, and 6 in about 1 minute, 1 week for you, and hopefully we do it a bit better. Because I guarantee you nobody's watching this by now. If you are watching this, tell me your favorite superhero. I'll guarantee about one person, probably Kevin, says who that is. Mine, Dick Dastardly. Was he a superhero? Not really. I don't watch all these new shows. I like the old classic TV. Yeah, Dick Dastardly and Muttley. Yeah. Who remembers the wacky races? I do. Subscribe if you'd like to. After this drivel, you probably won't want to, but if you do want to, subscribe. Hit that alarm bell. Hit that bell. You'll get notification when these come out. I do one of these every Monday. Every Thursday, we put out a cabin tour, and every Saturday, I put out a miscellaneous video, like a port tour, ship tour, something. We try and do that every single week. So we are here to help. We don't do clickbait. We just do rubbish videos like this one. And with that, I will see you later, Cruising World. Better next week, I promise. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell, and you'll get notifications when new videos come out. And don't forget, click on the links to the left and right of me. You can watch playlists, new video suggestions, and more. Any questions? Email me, cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. And don't forget, I'm a travel agent. Email for help.